Hey guys, Zaphod here, back for another weekly-ish edition of the comic strip. I wasn't here last week, as you may have noticed. In part, I had a job interview, then I got a job, then I had to tell my other job, and there was just a lot of stuff going on. So yeah, I have a new job, which is awesome. It's fantastic. I'm really excited about it. What this does mean, though, is that I won't be working at the comic shop for too much longer, which is really sad. It's a trade-off. My boyfriend will keep working there, which is cool. It's actually gonna be great. That way we can, start having, time off together and stuff like that. Things that we haven't had working together for a very long time. So it's a good thing, but traded off. I don't get to play with comics quite as much in my day-to-day life, which is a little sad for me. This may possibly, it won't next week, but it may the week following possibly affect when these videos go up, because I will be working primarily Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, and I don't know exactly when I'll be picking up my comics each week. So things may change slightly over the next couple weeks here, and I'll try to keep you posted as I know more. Anyway, let's dive in. I did want to talk to you guys about one comic that I read last week that I did not get a chance to post about. It's a new #1 out from Image. It's called Secret Identities. It's a team book, which if you guys know me, you know notoriously I do not like team books. This one's actually a lot of fun. You get a lot of the kind of caricatures of the superheroes. You get the fastest man alive. You get the really strong, incredible rock kind of guy. But it's not so much the powers that matter, but the people behind the mask. And this story is really about a team of heroes who may not be the best of humanity. And it kind of goes through some of the stuff that learning about these characters and what they choose to do with their, really impressive powers and stuff. It's really cool. It's a really good read. The art, the story are pretty great. I definitely encourage you to check that one out if you like superhero stuff, if you like something that has a little bit more of an invincible feel to it, in the sense that it's a cool superhero team book, but pretty much any sort of thing can happen, and it's just a lot of action and super big intergalactic battles and stuff, so it's pretty cool. Definitely worth checking out. Now on to the meat of the week. I read this one first because I was told it was pretty brutal from the internet, and Scott Snyder on the internet was right. Batman #39. This is the second to last part of the Endgame arc. I know I say this a lot, but this issue is so crazy. It's ridiculous. It's still, in this corner. Okay, this is a teen comic. This comic pushes further than any DC comic I've really read. It gets pretty brutal. I'm surprised they haven't had to bump up the rating on it. It's about as close to a horror Batman as I've really ever seen, and that's Scott Snyder's. That's really he's really great at writing horror, and he's doing a fantastic job doing horror in this. And Capullo is just, oh my gosh. This is seriously one of my favorite Batman stories I've read in my entire life. This is so twisted and amazing, and if you guys aren't reading Endgame, try to snag up, see if they have the issues at the store, at your local comic shop. If they don't, I'm sorry, because DC takes forever to put out collected editions, and this one is great, and it's unfortunate that you're gonna have to wait for it. So try to do what you can to find that if you're not reading it already, because it's really, really good and really, really kind of messed up. It's awesome. Then we have #46 of Chew. Those of you who read last month's issue know that happened, and I was all like, oh my god, are you really? Oh my god, are you serious? And so yeah, if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, that's fine. That's fine. Just read Chew and then you'll know. After last issue, this is the start of a new arc. This series just never stops surprising me in what they do and what the directions they take their story, and it's so, and a lot of our characters are at a pretty significantly low point in their life. Things aren't going well for Tony. They're not going well for anybody, really. But there's only 14 issues left, so we'll see what they turn around in a year. I'm really have mixed feelings on the series ending. It's been fantastic so far, and I'm excited to see that it's nearing its natural conclusion, but I'm kind of scared to see what its natural conclusion is. And then we have up next issue 8 of Wicked. Yay, Wicked and 5. There are 2 covers. This is the Brandon Graham cover, which you guys may know. If there's a cover and one was Brandon Graham, of course I'm picking up the Brandon Graham cover, because I mean, Brandon Graham, he's got skill. This is a fantastic series. I really dig it. This issue actually started, they always will tell you, they have like a little page where it says the date that the issue, these acts are taking place in. This issue starts at a party that happened on my birthday last year. Way better party than I had, I might add. A lot of crazy cool stuff. No gods showed up to my party. So I'm just saying. Maybe, whatever. I don't even care. They're just really crafting a really cool story with this, and I'm really excited to see how it continues. I know that they do have a plan for a number of issues for this one. I can't remember what exactly it was. But this issue is actually formatted a little bit differently than some of the other ones, so if you're listening to it, if you're reading it, it might be worth considering putting on some music with just kind of like an up dance beat or something like that. So that might help you get into the feel of it and stuff. But it's a great issue, a lot of fun. And we have up number 6 of Low. I'm just trying to find not a glare as I'm holding up these issues. This is the end of the first arc. This is a great book. This is a book where they're focusing a little bit more on the character development and stuff. As Remender said, he's taking a little bit of a different approach with this book, and how he's creating and building these characters and stuff. And it's really all becomes rewarding in this issue here. There's a lot of, this is a really good end of a first arc. This is really fantastic. I'm really looking forward to seeing this out in trade and in store. So definitely worth checking out if you haven't. The basic idea of the series is in the future of Earth, we have pretty much fucked up our planet. I know. What a shock. And in doing so, we have, as people, the surface has become uninhabitable, and so we go below. We build ecosystems, we build cities underneath the oceans. And the goal is we're just going to do that temporarily until we find new life elsewhere, but we continue to send up probes to different planets and nothing comes back positive. And so hundreds of years later, the civilization is now running out of water, running out of oxygen, and they're trying to find a new planet. They do send off one last probe, and it comes back positive, and they find out that possibly the surface of Earth over these hundreds of years has once again become habitable, and it's their journey to try to leave the ocean and possibly come to that. It's going to be a long journey for them, I imagine. There's a lot of hiccups, a lot of very big hiccups along their way, but this is a really good story. The art in it is just so insanely gorgeous. It's very cool, worth checking out if you like a good sci-fi story. Then we have up Secret Origins number 10. I don't pick up all the Secret Origins. They are fun, but they don't always have much to do with anything I care about. But this one is a Batgirl one, as you see. And I love Batgirl, and I will pick up Batgirl. So this one focuses, this one is the 3 characters, and this one is Batgirl, we have Firestorm, and we have Poison Ivy. The Batgirl story takes place during the pre-52 rehabilitation of Barbara Gordon, because at the beginning of New 52, you see Batgirl, and she talks about having been in a wheelchair, but she's no longer in a wheelchair. She has a handicapped van, but she can walk and stuff, and she talks about having gone through an experimental recovery process, and this issue does touch base a little bit more with that. Also, if you guys are reading Batgirl proper, written by the same crew, so definitely please pick this up. There is a little bit in this first part, that Batgirl issue, that little Batgirl story, that will kind of tie in with the last issue and some of the mysteries that are going on with Batgirl right now. The Firestorm one was cool, especially since I don't really know a lot about Firestorm's origin other than, you know, what I've picked up here and there and, you know, on the show and stuff like that. And, so that one was fun, and then the Poison Ivy one was great, mostly because it has Steven Sejic. I think that's how you pronounce his name. I tried to look it up. And he's doing the art for that, which is awesome. I was pretty excited to see that. That was a nice surprise. I love how he draws women. So yeah, that was that. And then we have up a new number 1 from IDW, which I'm kind of the worst. I just have a natural inclination against IDW, which is really not fair because they put out a lot of amazing books like Lock and Key and some Doctor Who stories and some really, really good stuff that I do really quite enjoy. But as a general whole, with their whoring out their licensed properties and stuff like that, there's a lot of times I'm not super impressed with some of the stuff that they do, which I'm sure is like that with every publisher. Just I have a little bit more of a natural aversion to IDW, which is stupid and ill-founded, especially when they put out something like this, Dave, which is an awesome comic. It's really fun. It's different. It's, you know, it's really cool. So when we build robots, eventually the idea is that we build robots and give them higher and higher responsibilities to make our lives easier. And eventually, you know what? They overthrow us. They kill us off. And you know, but then once the humans are gone, then the aliens are like, ooh, I want to come check out Earth because now there are no humans protecting it. So then all the robots, including Mr. Dave here at the top of this pile, his job, he used to be a war hero, killing off all these aliens. But now there are no more aliens, and he works a boring desk job, and because once the humans are killed off, the robots kind of just settle into human life, because what else is there to do? They don't have programming for other ambitions and moving forward and stuff, so they just kind of become human. And it's a really interesting story. It's really fun. I love the robot and computer terminology they use to describe their day-to-day actions. It's really, really good. I like the writing, the story, the art, really fun. Definitely worth checking out if you want something a little bit fun. Then we have up They're Not Like Us #3, where you have some kind of teenage young adults with some extra normal powers, like, you know, they can read thoughts, they can change people's perspectives, they can, you know, stuff of that, and they have this idea that they're better than everyone, and therefore, you know, they know what parts of humanity are bad, so they kind of just take out those parts of humanity, which is a little rough, and their perspective on that is interesting. But as you can see, things might be getting a little dirtier here in this issue, a little bit fewer, you know, you see a little bit of the dirtier side, the messier side of their world. And then we have up Gotham Academy. This is part of their February Valentine's Day kind of story arcs thing, where Olive is going to ask a boy out to the dance. Ooh. And there's a mysterious kid there that she's found, and you learn a little bit more about him, and they investigate what is inside Gotham Academy. Very interesting. I like the art in this a lot. And then we have a new #1 out, SpiderGwen. I don't always pick up the Marvel #1s, but it seemed fun. And I'll be 100% honest with you. I read Spider-Man, I've read Ultimate Spider-Man. I've never read any Spider-Woman. And what I've read about Gwen Stacy comes from Spider-Man, and I don't know a ton about her on her own. So I was kind of happy to read this and learn a little bit more. Deals with her and her, you know, Vulture shows up. I'm not sure if this is his kind of first appearance as the Vulture in the new Marvel run of things. I kind of made it seem like it, but I'm so far out of the loop, I really have no idea. It's fun. It wasn't necessarily anything mind-blowing. I might wait, see what the trade has to say. We'll see. But it was fun. Nice little dip toes into Spider-Woman, SpiderGwen, as it were. But yeah, that's that for me today. Also, in the news, Previews catalog is out today for March. Definitely worth checking that out if you want to see what new stuff is coming. Which you always want to see what new stuff is coming, right? You don't need money, you need comics. And then Sex Crims Volume 2 is out in the world as well today, so that's worth checking out. There's a lot of other stuff, but it's slipping my mind at the moment. So, yeah, thanks guys for tuning in. You have a great week, and I'll talk to you guys later. Take it easy.